Who's here? Hello. Hi, Cheyenne. Hi, Joanne. How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon. 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Hello in Maine. Hi, Kristen. How you doing? Hi, Wendy. Hi, Deborah. Hurrah! Very nice to see you all. How's it going? How are you? Where are you? What you doing? What time is it there? What town are you in? Hi, Marianne. Nice to see you on YouTube and on Facebook. Good. Nice to see you, Joanne. Welcome in. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Very nice to be here with you today. Love to know where some of you are in the world. I'm going to be doing tarot readings. My name is Lisa Edelman. I can do tarot readings, oracle readings, pendulum swings. I've got about 4 pendulums sitting here in front of me, which is for yes and no questions. It swings that way for no, and it swings that way for yes for me. So I've always got that as an option. If you've got a burning question, I'm happy to take questions where drawn. So anybody that likes a reading, I have sound. Maybe you haven't got any sound. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Deborah can't hear me, so I'm assuming everyone else can. Otherwise, you'd have all said you've got no sound. You've all good. How's your meerkat? So if you would like to ask me for a reading, you need to say yes, please, Lisa, or yes, please, I would love a tarot reading, or yes, please, I would love an oracle reading, something like that. Hi, Patrick. How you doing? I've got 4 decks out at the moment. How are you going? How are you? Right then, Kristen, I can pull a card for you. Kristen Riddle, why not? Why not? Please do make sure you're following me, Lisa Edelman, which should be at the bottom. It's not. Lisa Edelman is lisa.edelman1 at facebook.com. Please do drop me a follow. I would very much appreciate that. I'm good. Thanks, Patrick. Right then, Kristen. Let's see what we've got for you. I do hope you're following me. Kristen. I'm going to pull you a tarot card after I wipe my face. Wipe my nose. There we go. Kristen, come down the bottom and tell me if you understand what I'm saying. This is about opportunities. Hi, Donna. This is about opportunities coming your way. You know, this is quite exciting. This is one of the most exciting opportunities that comes around with the tarot. Excuse me. It speaks to you kind of getting the chance to do something good. It might be that someone's invited you to something, or you've decided that I want to do something exciting. I'm getting the notion of doing something. It's like maybe I've been a little bit bored. Maybe it's time I get on with it. Maybe it's just time to put one of my dreams out of my mind and into the world and into action. It's really a lovely opportunity. It's not a done deal. It doesn't mean it's going to happen if you don't do anything, or if you just sit and hope that it's going to happen. This is about you putting the investment of your ambition, of your time, of your passion into something that you know could work for you, that would be something you would really love. Definitely time for some change. Yes, because this does really, hi Carisha, this really does speak to, you know, you're being handed an opportunity, and that doesn't always come around. So maybe this is the perfect time. Hi Andrea. This is the perfect time for you to think to yourself, right, what would I love to do? What would make me happy? Because it just gets better, because the more you go on with it, the more passion you find within it. So it could be something that you enjoy doing, but you didn't realize how much you would enjoy it and how far it will take you. It could be a lifelong journey of discovery, something so fabulous for you. So don't let the chance pass you by. Get on with it. Sign up for that course, do that thing, make sure you get on with what you like to do, because it's like it's got your name written all over it, Kristen. So that's for you, Mrs. I'm going to leave that with you. Absolutely. So where are we? Let me see. Please do keep asking. I won't scroll back up. If Carisha, I can work with you. Carisha, Yeah, I certainly won't be scrolling. I'll need you to take charge of your asking for a reading, because otherwise I won't know who's here, who isn't. It's good if you let me know you're still here, which would be absolutely brilliant. And please do follow me. I'm with Carisha. Are you still here, Carisha? Video. Are you still here? Hi, Krish. How you doing, Krish Pillay? How you doing? I don't see her. I will move on. Deborah Chapman. Deborah Chapman, I'm with you, girlfriend. Oh, you missed it, Carisha. You missed it. I'm with Deborah Chapman right now. I'll come back to you. Deborah with a meerkat. Deborah. I'll come back to Carisha if she's still here after Deborah. Okay. Hi, Nicola. Hi, Wendy. Right. Deborah, meerkat. Oh, she's gone. She's gone off the screen. There you are. Deborah. There we are. Brilliant. Absolutely. This is interesting. This is the Five of Wands. You know what this speaks to? This speaks to a certain conflict, which may be within, but it also could be without. There could be some conflict going on with people around you, like the petty niggles of every day. It does speak to whether what you're doing is totally cohesive with what you are thinking. Sometimes it's about we're having to act in a particular way when it goes against how we really feel. We don't really want to be that way. Sometimes it speaks to you having to sort of compete to stay in place, which is quite exhausting. So it's really very much about sort of a little bit of internal investigation to see whether what you're doing works for how you feel and the behavior around others. If they're in a position, where there's little squabbles, whether you want to remove yourself from that situation at all. I feel as though this is coming to an end, whatever it is that's going on with you and that situation. Oh, thanks, Deborah. It does feel very much that you, when we have this sort of conflict, it's not really terrible, but it's not pleasant, if that makes sense. It's not, like fighting and really getting into it. It's more like he said, she said, you said, blah, blah, blah. It's a little niggly, annoying way of being, and you would just much rather step away from it, because when I see this card, it speaks to you being in a place where, you know what, get on with it. I'm not going to involve myself in those things because it's not worth my time. You might not say it that way, but what I would be thinking if I were you and I was in this situation, it'd be like, that is beneath me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, if you want to get involved in that, that's lovely for you, but this is not for me, mate. I'm stepping away. So that's where it sits for you. I do feel as though you can kind of remove yourself from situations. It's much better to just not be there, even though some of it might be quite engaging sometimes. It does encourage us to do our best, that card as well. So it is about, if you're sort of thinking, shall I try a bit harder, not with conflict, but with yourself, to get a little bit further along your path. It does encourage that sort of competition within oneself to try and beat one's own best record, if that makes sense. Deborah. I'm leaving that with you, matey. So there you are. Is Carisha here right now? Carisha, I can work with you right now. Then I will get to some more of you. Absolutely. I need to know you're here right now. When I finish Carisha's reading, please do then come down the bottom and ask me for the reading. If you would like one, please do follow me. There you are. Let's have a look what it's got to say for you. Hope that made sense for you, Deborah Chapman. You're very welcome. Did it make sense? Carisha, if I'm reading for you, anyone, please do engage by saying, yes, I understand. It really helps the vibration, because I work very closely with the spirit world, my guides. They will work with your guides. So we need a little bit of input from you. I do have a code word. Good. The code word is please, without which no reading will ever be given. Right. So Carisha. It's a good name. Carisha. There we are. That one is, I say, we get that one quite a lot, actually. So this is the Lovers and the Emperor. Now, I don't know you. I don't know anything about your position in status with relationships or anything, but it does speak to someone being a little bit controlling in a certain situation. Do you understand that? Otherwise, I'll work out what it is supposed to mean. But does that make sense, that there's a person in your life that feels a little bit like they feel like they want to have the upper hand? Yes or no? Yes, you do. Sorry that you do. I don't like that. So there's a sweetness and then there's an innocence around these two little characters. They're having a lovely time at the beach. They've gone out for the day. They love each other very much. And it's a blessed union with an angel looking over them and kind of creating that sort of idyllic state. But then one of them sort of wants to take over the situation. It's like, I'm Mr. Big. He's sitting there and he's got a bouncer holding an umbrella for him. So that would speak to the fact that that innocence is sort of lost to a large extent. And it's like, if I were you, which I'm not, but if I were, I would be sort of thinking about, what can I save up money wise? What can I do to sort of look after myself in the best way? This little boy, he's got he's been thinking about the future in terms of what he can keep for himself. What does he need to do in order to move on? Because there's something going on here that you know already. You know what the story is, you know what the situation is, and you know that it won't get better and it won't change in your favor. So you need to think about where you want to go with this for the future, for yourself and anyone that you are in charge of looking after, that kind of thing. It's very important for you because thank you. I'm sorry it makes sense, but I'm glad it makes sense for me, for you. But it does mean that now is the time. You don't want to let it go another year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're thinking, oh my God, it's going to get better. It won't get better. It'll only become more of what it is, and you'll feel less empowered. So your confidence can grow by knowing that you've got a sort of a strategy in order to move away from that situation, and your thinking is absolutely fine. You don't need to think about how you don't need to think that because this person controls everything in the way that they make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. That's not what this is. You do know exactly what's what, because I had the high priestess following that, and she knows a lot of things. She knows exactly what's going on. She may not always say it, she may not always let you know, but you already do know that you are in a situation that would benefit from change. All right, so I'm going to leave that with you, Carisha. Thank you so much. Hi, Karen. Right, Joanne Griffiths. Yes, please, I'm with you, girlfriend. Joanne Griffiths. Joanne Griffith. Please do follow me, everyone. Lisa Edelman. It's going across the bottom at the moment. It's running across the bottom. So if you go to that and you press follow, I would absolutely love that. I go live as well once a week. So Joanne, thank you for being here. Hi, Jemmy. When I finished with Joanne's reading, please come down the bottom and say yes, please, and then I'll see you again, because it's lovely that you're all here. Thank you for coming in. Right, Joanne, and tell me where you are in the world. Are you in England, America, Canada, South Africa, India, Philippines? Where else do we have people come from? France, Italy, I don't know, anywhere. Where are you? Australia, that's always a popular one. Manchester, that's good. That's not far away. Right. Joanne, this is what Joanne needs to know. Your cards are falling. I wait for them to drop. I can feel it's just about to go. No, it's not. So that's your card. That means if they drop and drop and drop, the card that comes is the one for you. That's how it works. Now, this is a nice one. This is about you coming into a place. Oh, Chicago, South Africa. This is a place where you're coming to, where you get to kind of enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is the card that This is the other hand. This is, I always think it's going to be the other way. This is the card that came out first, the Nine of Cups. Now, this is one of the happiest, most joyful, emotionally fulfilling cards that we can draw. So it often speaks to being in a kind of time of plenty, emotionally quite well off. Emotional intelligence is at peak. We're in a position where the people around us are pretty good, and we can just get to enjoy that. If we're not in that place, which sometimes happens when this card comes up, it's about sort of counting your blessings and enjoying that which you do have, which you know is working for you, the abundance that you do have. It's lovely. But what also is coming out here is the nurturing aspect of that. So you might be a person that loves to give. You're a generous, kind, beautiful energy for other people. They actually feel quite calm around you. They like to come to you to say, do you know what, Joe, I want you to, Joe, I want to tell you something. Can I tell you a little secret? And you'll be like, come on then, we'll have a cup of tea, we'll talk about it, you'll be absolutely fine, don't you worry. And that person will leave feeling a lot better. And that is but also something to be blessed by. There's no negativity within that. Sometimes I would say to somebody, you know what, you're spending too much time listening and talking to other people, but I feel as though you've got the balance right, and I feel as though you're in that space where you go ahead. It's almost like the best nurse in the hospital, that person. Everybody loves her, and everybody just feels that expansive generosity that they bring, and that's what you've got going for you, apart from like lots of other good things. But that is something that people notice about you, and it's something you can be really proud of, because I don't feel as though it's something you've had to work at really hard being nice. You just kind of are. Some people have to try really hard to be nice sometimes. And I don't feel like you do. I feel like it's like you just love it. You just love being nice to people. Can you tell me about that? I'm kidding. So that's for you, Mrs. I'm leaving that with you, girlfriend. Thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. Oh, Anne. Hi, Linda. Let's have a look for you, Anne. Let's have a little look. Yeah, please go to my wall and give us a follow. I feel you might have done, but please do follow me. Anyone that isn't, you'll see where I pop up. You're welcome. Did that make sense, Joanne? Annie. Oi, oi, oi. I'm with you, Annie. Oi. Annie, Ivor. Annie, Wanny. Annie, Wanny, I'm with you. Annie, Wanny. Annie, Wanny. Right then, have we only really been here 19 minutes? It feels like I've been here all day. I love you all. Anne. Great, Joanne. Brilliant. Thanks, Anne. That's sweet of you. The Ace of Swords. Okay. So what I want to say to you now is this is like, I'm starting to get some clarity. I'm starting to really cut through a lot of things that have been happening. Sometimes in life, we feel as though we can spend a period of time just wading through treacle where we're just like, oh, it's really hard to push through. It's like, plaiting fog, or just very thick energy that's difficult to move through. And I feel like you're coming to a place now where that's much easier to just chop, like you're going ahead with a scythe, and that is taking you to a place where you can work with other people. This is a collaborative energy that I have for you, and what that means for you is that you can see clearly how your efforts are exponentially grown by being with other people who have different energies, different concepts of skill. So they can bring what they have to the party, you bring what you have to the party, and all of a sudden we've got this sort of more than the sum of its parts allegiance, whereby you can actually utilize that to make something pretty cool happen. It is very much about you kind of thinking in a way that you may not have thought in recently, or you have, and you're starting to understand that. It could be that about a business, it could be about work, it could be about just forming some sort of entity with other people. So it's interesting when we all start to play to our strengths. something quite magical can happen for you. And I feel like you realize that now. It even could be something like joining a choir, doing something that makes you happy, doing something that brings joy to you where you're working with other people. All right. I don't see any feedback, so I'll leave that with you. If I do work with you, please do come in and say, yes, I understand. So that was about romantic relationships. So that's interesting. I've just seen the question. Right. Interesting. I didn't see the question in my mind when I pulled the card. What did I just? Yes. So actually that would speak to meeting someone through other people. It would speak to meeting something through being introduced by someone, not necessarily meeting them directly, almost like someone's got a friend and they go, oh, Anne, would you like to meet? That sort of thing. That's where it's at. Yes, it will happen because, again, it's cutting through. If we apply it to that, we can use it in that way. All right. So that was very much about other people helping, really, if that's where we apply it. It's interesting because it wasn't very lovey-dovey. So it does speak to kind of treating that situation as though it were a business venture. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to kind of set out our stall if we want to meet someone. You know, we can say, right, this is how I do it. I'm going to write this. I'm going to make a profile. I'm going to and then we're going to do it. So yes, you will meet someone, but that's very often how it happens. It could even be by someone at work or someone that works with someone that knows someone that introduces you. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it at all. Linda, I just go when I finish reading for that person, I just then have a look at the wall to see whose name I'm drawn to. There's no particular order. Right now I'm with Linda. Right then. Who's following me? Hands up, who's following me? I need to know that you're following me. It makes me feel better. Linda. How you doing, Linda Wallace? I'm with you. Right then, I will get to some more of you. Absolutely. I know it's huge. It's 40 ounces. It's really heavy, but I can't keep getting up and refilling it. So it's the best idea to have a big one. There is a lid and a straw, but I prefer not to. Right then, Linda. I know. Drink a lot of water. Who doesn't drink enough water? Hands up. You are following me. Great. Thank you. Linda Lou. Drop. Drop and give me 20. Right, Linda. The King of Wands, Rabbit, and the High Priestess. Okay, now, interesting. So what I know when I see this card is somebody very dynamic, somebody very entrepreneurial, somebody very skilled, somebody very able, someone with vision, someone who can actually do a lot of motivational for themselves and for other people. They can motivate someone. So it does speak to someone in your life or yourself who's in a position now to start looking more inwardly, to start applying those things to the Hi Helen, start applying those skills to themselves to look inward in order to try and create more spiritual growth. Interestingly, does this make sense, Linda? Come down the bottom, be involved in your reading. Hi, Christine. So what it does speak to for you is don't let fear, water stuff. Don't let fear be any guide when you want to move forward. It's almost like you'd like to explore some more skills that you know that you have that might be laying dormant to an extent. And I think that once you start going with a subject, you become just so animated with it and so excited. But there's a certain amount of fear. Yeah. The card that speaks to fear is this one. And, you know, sometimes with fear, it's not a reality, it's an illusion. And the moon speaks to an illusion. Things look worse in the dark than they do in the light. You know, when you're thinking of something at 4 o'clock in the morning and you think about it at lunchtime, it's not the same thing. It's completely different. But for you, I feel as though there's so much more exciting stuff for you to do with the high priestess, I feel like there's a lot of spirituality, and that can be scary because you don't know where to start, but you're already starting by getting a reading light and doing stuff. And you might want to sort of develop your psychic awareness, which is something you can do quite easily, actually. There's no woo about it. It's not like all wooey and scary. It's quite down to earth. If you wanted to, you know, like me, I'm very grounded, and I feel like you could be very grounded. You would be a person that could get on with these things, but it would be quite exciting because I've got the King of Wands. This is not someone who lets anything get in his way, and I feel like once you start to get in that space where you want to do something more than it scares you, it's like a choice, isn't it? It's almost like, let's just say, yeah, okay, so the choice would be, what are you drawn to? Is it something like psychic work where you tune in with somebody on a psychic level and then you pull cards for them, or healing, empath? Okay, so you might want to do some healing. I don't know where you live, but I'm willing to bet that there's a spiritualist church near where you live. That would be my first port of call if I were you. They teach lessons, they teach classes, they have what they call a circle, and people go there in order to learn to do things. They have healing class, they have all sorts of things. I mean, I teach tarot. There's all sorts of ways you could choose what you wanted: healing, tarot, oracle, all sorts of just psychic development, and that develops a person themselves, you know. So I'll leave that with you, Lindy Lou. Thank you so much. Yeah, have a pop in. Maybe it's calling you back. You know, it happens sometimes. I didn't go to one for a while, and then I went back and it's like you've never been away. Jemmy. Don't know what that's saying. To you, Veronica? Does Veronica know what Almy's saying? Don't know what that is. I don't know who Maria Dean is. Right, Gemma. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. And with Jemmy Tyler. Jemmy, please, and thank you. Almy, we don't know what you mean. Ah, okay, cool. Jemmy, got ya. Jemmy. I'm with you. Jemmy. Let's find a place to put the cards because I'm working on a laptop, so I've got like no desk space. I keep bouncing on me, trackpad. Right, Jemmy. That's yours. The Devil, my favorite card. So there's something you're doing. Oh, okay, Alma, got you. Right, so this is one of my favorite cards, Jemmy. The Devil. Look at his legs. Very hairy legs. This devil speaks to you doing something that is really not necessarily in your best interest. It's the sort of thing you do, and then like the next day or a week later, I wish I hadn't done that. Come down the bottom, tell me you understand what I'm saying, please, and I will continue. I really love the input of the person I'm working with because my guides and I work very closely together, and we work with your guides. So do tell me that you understand that there's a certain thing that goes on for you that you kind of wish you hadn't done necessarily. And who doesn't, you know, until we kind of do it enough times and then we think, no, because I feel like you've had enough of it. You're at a point now where there are things that you do that you actually actively start to dislike something about yourself while you've done it or after you've done it. And this is about just taking a break from that. It's almost like you've got an opportunity to leave that behind now. When I've got the Judgment card, that speaks to you being in a place where it's like, hello, you know, are you getting it now? You need to stop doing that. It's like slap your legs, need to change, but you need to do it quite soon, all right? Because it's going to start to take a toll on you where you won't like it because you'll feel, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. I don't like how I feel. I don't like what it makes me think about myself. It starts to kind of take you down a path of deprecation, and it's corrosive to your spirit, if you will. It's corrosive to your sense of self and the way that you see yourself, and the way that other people will see you as a result of the way that you see yourself, and you'll start to value yourself in a lesser way. So I would very much suggest that you take that on board really today, and take a little rest, take a time out, say, you know what, I'm not available for a couple of days, I'm going to have a rest, I'm going to do some thinking, I'm going to have a spring clean of my setup, if you will, because you're the one in charge of that, and you absolutely can. It might mean you need to hang out with different people for a while. It might mean that you just need to take some space and look after yourself and eat well and sleep well and nourish your soul a little bit more. And you absolutely can, and then it'll be turned around. Within 6 months, it's just completely turned around. All right, so I'll leave that with you. Donna, please let me know how that resonated for you. Jeremy. I don't know if that's a bit loud, actually. It might be, sorry. You're welcome. It absolutely needs to be done. Goody gumdrops, Don. Who's not following me? Please do go and follow me. I would really very much appreciate that. In return for my energy, it's the least you can do. Thank you. Right, Donna. That's a cute little doggy. Donna, let me change the deck. I like to go through different decks. I've got Oracle here, but I actually feel very much drawn to the tarot today. I feel like we get to it more, don't we? If when I finish with Donna, I see that you've asked for a reading, I will endeavour to get with as many more as I can. Donna with a cute doggy picture. Donna. Donna, that's yours. Oh, okay. This is about generosity, reciprocity, kindness, charity, if you will. This is very much, okay, so this is about giving, really. When you've got lots. Bo, oh, beauty. Sweet. He is cute. Is he a papillon? I can't really see, but he's very sweet. I can see cuteness, but I can't quite see. So this speaks to generosity, kindness, giving when you've got, and just feeling like when you're feeling abundantly fulfilled in many, many ways. And I do feel that you're coming into a place in a time when you've got a lot of what you need, a lot of what you've wanted, a lot of what you've dreamt of in a way. Emotional. Hi, Susan. A lot of security in many ways. Emotional. If you're not right now, it's coming your way. But I do feel that it's time to then share. This is about giving when you've got, and caring and sharing, and when you haven't, it's about asking for some help. So really, it's almost like, I've got something to spare. What can I do to share it? It doesn't have to be money. It can be your time. It can be your listening ear. It can be energy. It's very much about giving back. It's an interesting one, that, Donna. The giving back when we have is kind of like tithing, if you will, where it comes back to you anyway. If you give a little of what you've got away, you'll find that it'll come back in very different ways to you. You know, you'll feel like just really good about it, and you'll know that you've done something good and you've sent a ripple out into the world. Sometimes on the road, you get to a toll booth, and sometimes people pay for a couple of cars toll. And you get there and they say, oh, the car in front paid your toll. Now, they never knew who you were or anything, but it was a really nice thing to do. And then another day you'll do that for someone else. It's just really sweet. And I feel like that's where you could benefit the most. Oh, it's nice to see you, Susan. You could really benefit from the generosity and kindness that you can show when you have, and when you haven't, to actually allow other people to give to you. But I do feel like you're coming into a really cool space with this gentleman with all his melons, all his lovely watermelon drinks that he's made. He's got everything he wants, and he's like fat on the land, if you will. So he's really got everything he ever wanted and dreamt of. So this is very much a time to appreciate that which we have, and to just be thankful and appreciative of everything that you have. And that sometimes we have to dig deep to do that. And sometimes it's quite on the surface. We know where it is, a chihuahua. Okay, good. So hopefully you'll understand what I've said to you. And that's an ongoing situation, Donna. Marianne Harris, are you here? Marianne Harris. I can work with you. Marianne. Oh, that's nice. I love crafts. Love. Like watching people do them as well. That's nice. Good. Right, Marianne. This one. I haven't used this one much today. I'm with you, Marianne Harris. Right then. Marianne. I hope you're following me, Marianne. You're not on Facebook right now. I know you're on YouTube, but you can come on and follow me. Right, Marianne. There we are. That's yours. Okay, this is about starting something over whilst knowing that something was. It's difficult because you haven't got a photo up. It's slightly more difficult. I don't mind working with the name, but I do like having a photo of a person or something. Yeah, we're going to have to say please if we want a reading because the cards don't work without the please. It's the least you can do. So for you, Marianne, what I want to talk about for you is starting something over and kind of trusting that anything that's hurt you in the past, anything that's made you feel less than, any words that you carry around with you, come down the bottom and tell me if you understand, Marianne, because it's very much, this is a starting again. This is about something happened. It wasn't fun. We're absolutely going to have to start over despite what we've heard, despite the way that words can cut in the same way that anything else can cut. And know that you have a chance now to start again. This is quite a good opportunity for you. It takes you to a place where you feel much more yourself, much more empowered. I feel as though someone or something happened that made you feel a little bit less than. It made you, okay, they made you feel like, they said some horrible things. I'm going to put it that way. Some horrible things were said to you, but we're going to start again and we're going to try and put those away. So you've done really well to get to where you are right now. We have to say it every time. Otherwise, I think you didn't say it. I do feel like we want to go down a traditional path, though. I don't want to go too far off piece now while you're healing, if that makes sense. So although it's starting again, starting over, I wouldn't do it sort of on a mountain in Kathmandu on my own eating a banana. I would do something more like something you've done before but not quite, so starting again but not too massively off piste, if that makes sense. So yes, it's all good for you. I'm going to be doing that. I enjoy that. Long dark hair. Me. Yeah, it's quite long, even longer than you think. Right then, so that's for you, Marianne. I will leave that with you. Right then. Christine. Hi, Georgette. Christine, are you there? Christine with a K and a Y. If you follow me, you can also talk to me about working with me privately. Excellent. Does that make sense, Marianne? I think it did. Right, Christine, what do you need to know right now? Christine. Oh, Christine. Christine. That's an unusual spelling. Right then. Hope that's not too loud in the microphones because I'm sort of clattering it on my desktop. You'll let me know. Christine, my desktop, my laptop. Christine. They're falling. Still falling. Right. 7 of Wands is what's actually fallen for you. So this is an interesting card. This is about like having to defend yourself to a large extent. Sometimes I feel as though there's a character in your life, Christine, that makes you feel as though sometimes you have to kind of stand up for yourself. It's I'm not going to say they know everything, but they're a sort of person who might think they do. They're quite an able character, but then so are you, and it makes you feel as though they know better in some way. Does this make sense? Come down the bottom, tell me if you understand, and I will continue, Christine. That you get to feel as though you have to defend yourself against certain logic, and sometimes you don't want to think logically. Sometimes you just want to feel like how you feel. Sometimes sometimes you do understand. Okay, thank you. So sometimes you might feel like I'm feeling a certain way, and someone says, well, tell me all about it and we'll sort it out. And it's like, I can't. I'm feeling a certain way. It's not about language. It's about how I'm feeling, and it's really hard. And I do feel like you can actually get to it yourself. You're a person that if you're given enough time to sort of work it through, it will work through, but you cannot be rushed into logic. And that's okay, because sometimes we are in an emotional space and we want to sort of live in our emotional space and not have to verbalize everything because it suits someone else's way of dealing with things. But that's not to say the other person doesn't want to help, but sometimes the help that is offered by somebody is the best they can do in their way, but they haven't got the empathy that you actually would like to have given to you. So it doesn't mean they don't really try, but it's difficult because you're coming up against a lot of logic and a lot of you're coming up a lot. It's very difficult when you're given logic and you're feeling a certain way. It makes you want to explode because you can't get the words out. It's like, I'm feeling something. Shut up, leave me alone, that kind of thing. So really, you have to know that when you're not feeling like that, that person's probably quite good. If you wanted them to help you with, Christina, that's sweet. Hello. If you wanted them to help you fill out a form or apply for a passport, absolutely brilliant. If you want them to sort of listen to you just make noises because you're so upset, they may not be the right person in that situation, but don't fall out with them. Hi, Julie. How are you? Alison, I'm not doing mediumship right now. I have noticed your question, which you've asked for two things. There's a 60-year-old family secret. If you don't know it, I'm sorry. He wanted to talk about it, but it didn't, I'm guessing. So that's an interesting subject. I find that quite fascinating, actually, but that's not for here and now. That would be a longer deal and a chat. So I'm afraid I can't do that for you right now. So Susan, I'd love a card if you... Yes, absolutely. Can you give me an invite on August? I don't know what that means, Julie, matey. I don't know what that means. Right then. What did I say? Susan. Thank you for being here, everyone. I'm going to pull for Susan Durrett right now. Susan Durrett. I'm good, thanks. Oh, not at all. That's funny. I love the typos sometimes. They can really get you into trouble, can't they? They can be like, oh my goodness, why did that come out? And it's like so embarrassing if you didn't notice it until like the next day. You type something very quickly at night and you go to bed. Then you see what you actually wrote. Don't worry about it at all. Right, Susan. That's funny. I made myself laugh. Susan. Knight of Pentacles. Temperance. Okay. So this is about you measuring carefully what you want for your future. It's almost like I'm going to bake a future. So I'm going to make sure that I've got enough money. I've got plenty of time. It's like all the cup measures that we use, or grams or ounces, I'm not discriminating, for you to think of getting your recipe for your future right. It's an interesting one, Susan. It's like temperance. This pussycat is like, right, I'm going to go down the middle. I'm not going to go to extremes. I'm going to get things right. It's a blessed union between what your insight and your intuition tells you and what you know logically in your logical mind, the facts that you know for sure and the things that you feel in your gut. And that's what you need to sort of bring to bear for you now starting to think about the future and planting more seeds for the future. It's almost like, you know what, change going to come. If you were born by the river in a little tent, change going to come, because this is very much about the change that we bring to bear in our lives by starting something now. So what it implies for you is that if you can get it right for yourself and no one else at this point, although there may be other people involved, there will be a very, very positive change where it takes you away from the difficult spaces that you found yourself in, Susan. I feel like you're going to understand this, because I do want you to come down the bottom and tell me you understand. I feel like you will, but it feels complicated sometimes, and sometimes it is just as simple as putting one foot in front of the other with a view to the future. So whatever we do today for tomorrow is going to be good, but we need to do it today, even though the outcome isn't obvious yet, because the changes that we need to make, we have to leave behind something that was difficult in order to let the future be better. And I feel like a lot of your future is informed by that which has gone on, the past, things that have happened, things that have been difficult, things that you need to let go of, informs the future in the way that you don't want that to happen again. But don't let just that be the information you utilize for your future. Instead of not wanting something to return, you need to think about what you really do want. You know, it's not just about, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. It's more like, okay, what am I going to do that I would really like? What do I need? What do I want? What can I have? And how do I get it? It's very much that space, you know, so I hope that makes sense. Oh, Christina puts a 3. Yeah. Actually, that would still read quite well, a 3, wouldn't it? Good. And you can have it. It's very on you. It's very much a thing. Yeah, you can have that. But it's what you do every day up until, because the new life is like, starts now, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day is a future that you're building. There we are. Let's see. So who's still here and who's still asking for a reading? Don't say me, because I'll think you didn't say please. So please do ask me for the reading that you would like. And please do follow me. It's very important. I need to know who would like a reading. So you need to say, yes, please, I would like a reading. If you would. If not, it's fine. So you're made sense of that, Susan. You're very welcome, matey. Christina Marie Harris. You're welcome. Christina Marie Harris. I'm with you, girlfriend. I'm shuffling these because they seem to be really comfortable to shuffle, but I want to change them because these are much lighter and smaller. But I'm going to work with them. They're very adorable for traveling. Right then, Mrs. Christina Marie Harris. Are you following me? Lisa Edelman. And it needs to be Lisa.Edelman1 because I got another profile that I never use. So please do. Christine. There we go. Goody gumdrops. Christina needs to know. You need to know. That's, oh, okay. I like this. I like this. Sometimes it feels like it's difficult to get traction, Christina. I always love the same deck. So what do you, this feels, you know what, I'm going to say this, come down the bottom, tell me if you understand what I'm saying. It feels like it's difficult to get traction sometimes on your passions, on your ideas. It's almost like I'm going to start, something comes up, takes me off course, and I end up getting knocked back, and I would really need to start again. So this is about careful planning, Christina. This is about planning over adversity, and it's almost like I'm not even going to take any notice of what you've said. This is what my vision for my future is. Okay. And you absolutely can do that. This little rabbit's got his hat on. I don't know why that's relevant, but he's wearing a hat, so he thought it was important. He's not got any trousers on, but that's another story. It is frustrating, I know, but I do feel there's a certain amount of self-sabotage that goes on, I would dare to say. And I know you're thinking, no, that's not true, but it is a little bit true. There's a little bit of self-sabotage that goes on, and it's almost like you've got a great idea. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm making plans. Something comes along, throws you off course. Oh, well, I told you it was no good. It was good. Go back to it. You can pick it up again. It's not like it's something that's, that exploded and you can't use it again. You can absolutely go back to that situation that you found yourself in and put some more meat. Yes, no, this is my idea. I'm going to do it, and it's up to me to do it. So this is very much about fleshing your idea out, making sure you've got all the goods for it. I know you've got the vision, I know you've got the passion, I know you've got the skills, but sometimes you could be very thrown by other people and you're not going to allow it. You're actually going to say, do you know what? Love to listen to you, darling. Another time. I've got a vision for what I want to do right now, and I'm not going to be thrown off course this time. Make 2024 your year to do those things, we don't deal with legal, health or fertility. Julie. Georgette. So that was with you, Christina. Do it. Georgette, I'll work with you. Oh, you're welcome, Christina. I love it for you because I really feel like this is your year, and you've got 6 months left. So, no, 5 months left. That's plenty. You only need 3. So, Georgette, what do you need to know today? What does Georgie? That's the face for reading tarot now. Right. Georgette, I'm here every week, but if you would like to work with me privately, follow me. Georgette. And I do go live on my own wall. Georgette, this is a nice one for you. This is the 9 of Cups and the Tower. So what this speaks to you for is like, it sometimes feels like once you get to sort of being really, really happy, something feels like it comes along and puts a spanner in that works. So it's like, yeah. Oh, thanks, Christina. This is feeling like, it's almost like you feel as though, again, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back with the way that you feel. It's like everything's going well, and now I feel like everything's not going well at all. Everything's a bit shattered, but actually everything is better than you think it is. It's just your outlook upon it. I do feel like some of your passions need to come to the surface, actually, because the Knight of Wands would suggest that you're letting your passions take a back step because you're sort of a bit snowed under with how you're feeling. And I understand that because you and I have we have a certain amount of knowledge of each other outside of this situation. But what it is, it's like, again, it's about, this one's in the middle. This is about counting the blessings that you do have, noticing that sometimes things feel a bit disastrous. They're not disastrous. They feel disastrous. That's quite different. And this pussycat, he's being offered a cup of his favorite milk with cream in it. He's like, I don't want it. Take it away. Shut up, go away, leave me alone. But actually there are more opportunities available for you than you care to know, than you care to realize. Don't be the pussycat that eschews the thing that he would really like while he's on his computer watching TikTok or something. You can see him on there and he's like, God is handing him a situation that he would really enjoy, and he's like, so it's like you have got a lot going for you and a lot of things to be grateful for, and sometimes things feel a bit down, which they do for all of us. So don't get too invested in the down space and the downtime and the down feelings, because actually things change around, and build things on the solid, on the yeah, oh, bless you. Do build on the upward trend rather than building and investing in the downward trend, because that's a rut you don't want to get into, because it takes your thoughts to a place where you're like, oh, nothing's any good. It becomes, oh, this thing happened, to everything's terrible, which is not the same. You're very welcome. Bless you. And I know I wish you better. I know you haven't felt brilliant recently, so I wish you better. And that will help at all. That will help too. Focus on the positive, what you are brilliant at. And I know one of those things. So there you go. Christina's sweet. All right then. Just having a little look up. Is Alison here? Alison Erickson. Alison Erickson. Oh, it's horrible, Georgia. I'm really sorry. You're always very welcome to pop back next week if you would like a reading with me, or you can come onto my followers and talk to me about that. Talk to me about a private reading, which I do have lots of private clients. There you go, Alison. You're with me right now. Alison Erickson. Let's see what we can get for you, Mrs. Very welcome. Alison Erickson. Alison Erickson. I like saying that. Alison Erickson. Alison Erickson. Alison Erickson. Alison Erickson. You can see them falling. No, you can't. You can just see my hand. Like, what's she doing? That's what's doing. Dropping. Right. 9 of Swords. Justice. I feel like you've been worrying about a situation that's really felt like a little bit unfair. It could be that it keeps you in a state of anxiety. There's something going on around you where you've like, oh my goodness, this is a lot to deal with. This is a lot to think about. This is not something I would really like to be dealing with. I do feel it will come good. It will work out. I do actually feel that when I have the Justice card, this is skewed in your favor. We don't talk about legality, but it could something like that situation where it could be skewed in your favor. It's about getting some clarity on the situations and sorting out your thoughts and allowing the universe to take care of certain things that have happened where someone might have been mean. And you think, why do mean people get away with something? They do for a time, but we'll never know what goes on for them internally. And for you to be sort of in a position where it gives you anxiety, that's such a shame. Does this make sense, Alison, that you have a certain amount of rumination, a certain amount of thoughts going around in your head that you kind of swirling, and they can make you feel a bit anxious, a bit not like the way you'd like to feel, to be honest? Know that it will come good and you will get clarity on that. It's an interesting one. I feel like I want to be focusing on the positive for you, but it's so difficult when someone says, "Oh, focus on the positive." That, you know, oh, then I'll do that. Oh, everything's fine now. It's not. That's not what I mean. But I know that for you, when you get stuck in a thought, it's just awful, and it can just sort of spoil your day. It can even sort of seep into the nice things that might be going on in your life, you know, having a nice day out or something. There's that thing still going around in your mind. So for you, it's knowing that let the universe offer it back to God. If you believe, if you don't, then know that there's a certain order of things in the chemistry of the universe that will take care of that for you, Alison. All right. I'm going to leave that with you. We're at time now. Please do follow me. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. I am done for today. I'm here next week, but I do all sorts of interesting things. Hope that made sense, Alison. Hope it was helpful. Thank you very much, everyone. See me again. See you again. Lots of love. God bless ya.